There are three ways to describe the center of data. The first is the mean. This refers to the average of the data set. In general, when you take the average, you add up all of the data values and divide by the total number of data values. Now we're going to be working with two different types of means. The first, this is the sample mean. This is the mean value of a data set. In statistics, when we want to be able to reference the mean of a sample, we use a variable notation. This is going to be X bar. We're also going to be working with the population mean. As the name suggests, this is the mean value of the population. It has a different variable notation so that way you can distinguish the population mean from the sample mean. This is the Greek symbol mu. It looks like a lowercase u. So anytime you hear the words X bar or mu, you'll be able to know the difference between a population mean and a sample mean. Your rounding rule when you're dealing with the mean, no matter which one you're working with, is going to be one place more than the data given. And then we are also going to include units. The reason we want one data place more is that this will help us to be able to know if we are closer to one value on the number line versus another. So let's look at an example on how we're going to utilize a calculator feature and be able to find the mean value. So for this example, at the beginning of the semester, I asked everyone to fill out a survey. One of the questions that I asked in a previous semester was how many minutes each day a student watched TV. We want to find the mean of the sample data. And here are some values in minutes. First, enter this data into the list feature of your calculator. You'll notice I put my data in L1 because I'm saving all the other data somewhere else. If I'm going to do that, I want to make sure on my paper I write the list that I have my data set into. Next, I'm going to identify the calculator information. Again, we're using OneVarstats. And in the list, I'm putting the amount of TV watched per day in minutes. Make sure you include the unit of minutes versus any other unit, hours, days, months, years, etc. Units are important. Next, we need to calculate. Hit Stat, scroll to Calculate. On OneVarstats, you're going to hit Enter. It's going to be holding my old list, so I need to tell it where my new data is. And then I can hit Enter. Notice on my screen, the very top variable is X bar. Since this data represents a sample, I'm going to be able to utilize that variable notation. The next thing I need to do is I need to look to see if I needed to round this value. So on my screen, I see 106.5. So I need to see, do I need to round this to 107, 106? Do I get to keep 106.5? My original data is in whole minutes. So my rounding rule is one place more than the data given, meaning I need one additional data place value. I need this to be rounded to the nearest tenth, which is what I currently see on my screen. So while my original data was to the nearest whole number, my mean is going to need to be the nearest tenth, including minutes. So my final answer will be X bar to represent the sample mean, 106.5 minutes. Everything you see here on your calculator and everything you see on your paper is exactly what you're expected to do on any type of quiz or exam question.